Welcome. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Foster City. We are the club that works. And our secret sauce is our members, you, your friendship, and teamwork. For pledge, we have Jim Hall. Will you please lead us in pledge?
Yeah, face.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't approve anything without the mayor's being there.
United States of
He
America.
did sign up on smoke alarms and some other little stuff, which is good, which gives us another 6 months to get the final.
With liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jim. Thought
Right.
for the day is Phoebe.
That part's good.
And then I wrote Kevin, told him the same thing and said, what's the update? Yeah, that is
Can you
one.
repeat it, Phoebe? Yeah,
Got it.
thanks.
My quote is from one of my favorite modern authors. His name is Ta-Nehisi Coates. The quote is, "I would not have you descend into
Plus, I
your
also wanted to see the blueprints, which they couldn't find, and I forgot to pull them out.
noble and beautiful
I had to
quote."
pull them out. They're on the table, but
Thank you. Thank you very much.
pull them out. And I didn't, I forgot.
So,
So we don't know. He didn't look up
of engagement today,
skylight here or what?
it's here to Bob, Mike.
No.
Can you please, all of you on Zoom, can you mute yourself? We can hear you over here.
You'll never see that inside view.
Thank you.
Why not?
And if your cell phone rings during the meeting, you know that you are then privileged to give $25 donation to the club. So thank you. Visiting Rotarians, do we have any visiting Rotarians or guests today? No, okay. We have our speaker on Zoom, but we'll do that at the end of it. For birthdays, Larry Kavinoki, 5th August. Happy birthday, Larry. And then Noemi's husband, Coco. Is Noemi here? No, I don't see her. Anniversaries, we don't have any, but Rotary anniversary, we have Charlie Brunitsky, 21 years in Rotary from 1st August 2001. Good news, do we have any good news? Jack, do you have a good news? Okay. No good news? Oh, Mary Lou. Yeah. Wait. Okay. So Mary Lou's husband, John, went for surgery and he came out A-okay. That's what she said. This is for the Zoomers. And Patricia, do you have anything?
I do not.
Nothing. Okay. That's fine. So now, today we have a light schedule. So we are going to do this little thing called, I'm just going to, I'll wait for you to finish your food and we'll do that a little bit later. Cindy Sims, would you like to come up here, please? Watch the wire. Yep.
So you have another opportunity, just in case you missed last week, to sign up for the summer concert, which is this Friday. We're actually looking pretty good, but we need a few more people for the 6:30 to 8 shift. So if you would look at the list and see if there's a activity that you think you would like to help out with, we would really appreciate it. So I'm going to start over here at Phoebe's table and we'll take it away.
Thanks, Cindy. And next, Diana. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm asking everybody for a favor. On the desk that Larry sits at, there is now a sign-in sheet for the weekly lunches. This is an experiment because the sign-up Genius thing is a few little glitches at the moment. If you could all sign up for next week's lunch, if you're going to be here, that would be great. For those on Zoom and for everybody else, I will still send out the weekly RSVP, yes or no. But please sign in on that sheet for me. We're just trying to get the lunches counts more accurate. Again, and the reason for it pretty much is if you sign up for lunch and don't show, that's money that comes out of the pocket of the Rotary. And it's the same thing if you show up without letting us know, then that also creates the same kind of issue. So we'll see how this works. Thanks.
Thank you, Diana. And actually, the other thing that everybody doesn't realize is that, with Sign Up Genius, it's a simple tool, but what we realized once we implemented it is that we're only getting your yeses. So all those who are no, we're not getting it. As a result, Diana has to call 40 people every week, and that's crazy. So if you are a no, if you can just text her or something and just let her know. And that's the reason why we have that sign up. So we're just trying to reduce the number of phone calls that Diana has to make, unless you absolutely love Diana's voice and you really have to speak to Diana every week for a fix, then please, yeah, wait, don't do anything and let Diana call you.
Ugly text with that ugly face on it.
Okay. Yes, but yes. Come. Yeah. So Patricia Player Maxwell is coming up next for an announcement.
So I'm actually speaking on behalf of the online group Global Action, and they have asked for us to let other clubs know of something that they're involved in and would like to know if anyone here would like to participate. It's called One Step Closer and Ways to Support clubs' effort to eradicate polio forever. And I know how very important that is and how much you all are encouraging that to eradicate polio. So they are having a go to Italy and walk a mile or 3 or 10 on the way of St. Francis. You can participate virtually. There will be more information coming along about this. You can contribute to the club or one of the team members on the Raise for Rotary site, which is, and I will have this put out to you all via email. You can set up your own team page on the above site. You can visit a club you are familiar with, and that's what I'm doing, so that we can get people to participate. And if you want to contact your family and friends and ask them to provide a donation of any amount, they would be very grateful. So this is the first announcement. I will be getting more information as we go along, and I'll also have dates and times, hopefully. So thank you very much for hearing me.
What is it? What is the date?
I don't have a date yet.
Okay. Okay, so now we have time. We can do what I had originally planned to do, but we have fewer people, but we'll still do this because I think you guys will be heads up for next time. We're going to play this little game, Lemons and Oranges, which is also what is extra in my pantry today. So, so what we will do is that I think wherever there are 1 or 2 people, just consolidate, and you have 7 minutes to discuss amongst each other and come up with at least 2 things that is common between you, minimum 1. And you can't say that we have gray hair. You can't say we have back pain. So those kind of things, gray hair, back pain, wearing glasses, those are out. So, okay. So I can see that is common. So you need to go dig deeper. 7 minutes. Yes, Cindy? No, the whole table. The whole table. It's a little bit more challenging. So with the whole table, Mark and Jim, you can join another table. And so people on Zoom, you can also do that. Have a chat. We have 7 minutes to see what you have in common with each other.
Oh, okay, well, I put you down anyway, but it's not anyway.
Yeah, you got those expensive. $1.
Okay, good. I've been to the airport.
Oh, it's. I know.
Okay, you have 1 more minute to go. And then have a spokesperson stand up and 1 more minute to say your most interesting commonalities. Yeah, I heard we all have hair, or, you know, it's, yeah. Okay. Okay, so which table wants to go first? Which table wants to go first? Time's up. Okay, we'll start over there at Mary Lou's table. Jeff, do you want to come here? Okay.
The one thing we found is we don't have anything in general in common. There's at least somebody that doesn't like dogs, or doesn't like cats, or doesn't read, or doesn't like to travel, or not interested in sports, et cetera, but the majority of us are pretty much the same, but there's always one of us that, in this group, that no consensus.
Is unique.
Yes,
But you are, oh, reading. I heard reading, but you said no to reading.
I'm not a reader.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Linda, what about your table? Both will be considered, but most interesting is the main thing. Stand up, and come here and say it if you want. If you want to. Yeah.
Apparently we do. Hey, okay, our table has this in common. We are all Rotarians, we're all Paul Harris Fellows, we're all major donors, we're all past presidents, we've all been on international trips. We have dogs, we have had cats, we're all bocce ball players. We participate in district events, all of us. Been to at least one, but if you didn't write it down, it doesn't count. Been to at least one national park, been to Alaska and Hawaii, all had traffic citations, and all have gone to traffic school.
Oh. Excellent. Jamie, are you the spokesperson for your table?
Well, our table is a lot like Jeff's table. We don't have a lot in common, but what we do have in common is that we're all college graduates. We have all been to, what's it called? Not that one. Sweet Thai basil. And we've all been to Hawaii. And that's about all we can come up with.
And this, thank you. What about this table, Patricia? Who is coming up? Dinah? Okay. Okay.
No, we're actually kind of not so interesting. Okay. The most unusual one, I think, is that we all have antiques. We're all Rotarians. We're all Giants fans. We all like dogs. We're all over 21. Hey, that's it. You wait, Jamie. You will get yours.
Thank you, Dinah. Mark, who's coming here from this table? Phoebe, who's coming? Allison is coming. Okay, that's the last table.
Thank you. Okay, our table, we all read the Foster City Islander. We all have kids. We've all been to Europe. We all like to cook. We can all ride a bike. We all like to help others. And we all like to donate to causes that we think are important. Yeah.
Very nice. So the lemon award goes to Mary Lou's table. So, well, lemons are very useful. So they are fresh and organic from my garden. So it's actually a really good award. So you can take as many as you want from here. And I thank all of you for participating. And the whole point of this whole thing is we got to learn something new and interesting about what people like or they don't like and what we have in common or not. And then the Orange Award, actually it's kind of a tie between this Mark Watson's table and this table. So let's see. Well, yeah, I think there's enough. So both of these tables get the Orange Award. Okay, so thank you for participating. Thank you. Did the people on Zoom get a chance to chat and discuss this or not? Zoomers are muted. Okay. So we will go on to the next one, which is Teresa Pope would like to come and make an announcement.
I actually have two announcements. The first is we're going to have a Rotary Means Business event on September 20th at Par 3 Restaurant over in Burlingame. Details to come. We're currently trying to find a speaker. So the committee is looking for a speaker, but thought I would give you guys a heads up so you can put it down on your calendar. So we will have more to tell as we get closer to the event. And then the second announcement that I have is we have today a vocational talk from our very own Larry Kavanoki. So Larry, if you could please come up.
Thank you. Well, some of you know that I am a CPA. And I have been a CPA since 1975. Same year I got my MBA from the University of Wyoming. But I got to fool a lot of people when I moved back here. I got a Stanford alumni email and everybody just assumes the CPA and the MBA are from Stanford. I just don't tell them they're incorrect. I've worked for 4 short periods of time as an employee in Virginia, Wyoming, and that's it. Rest of the time I've been self-employed, sole proprietor, no professional employees, so I quit auditing very early in my career. I couldn't keep up with taxes and accounting and auditing at the same time. So I've had a very interesting career. You've all heard, I know Bob has seen stuff come in a shoebox. In Wyoming, it's a boot box. I've had ranchers who bring me a year's worth of bank statements unopened. Okay, when you got $1 million line of credit, you don't worry about what the bank says. They usually have 4 or 5 checkbooks running through the family, one in the car, one in the pickup truck and so forth, and maybe one in the house. So there's no way to balance it. So that was an interesting time. I love being in Wyoming. One of the things I wanted to do was to get an IRS agent come out and I would show them a pregnant steer. Never got the chance. One of the things I like about bookkeeping in conjunction with my MBA is that CPAs generally are crunching dead numbers. We do it to make financial statements, we do it for audits, and we do it for tax returns. I like to take those dead numbers and help people make decisions moving forward. One of the things I did was with Code Alliance that I'm treasurer of their board also. I have trouble saying no when people want me to do bookkeeping and tax returns for NGOs. They had developed some Go Wish cards. I know Patricia knows about Go Wish cards. It was a thing to help with end of life issues. Well, they had $20,000 and they wanted to order some cards. And with the $20,000, they could only get them at a cost of $4 a piece. Well, we were selling them for $5, so that wasn't much of a profit. I kicked in 10,000 of my dollars. We got the price down to $2. So instead of a $1 profit, we now had a $3 profit. Within a year, they had paid me back the $10,000, and we now have accumulated 100,000 in reserves. So little things like that from my MBA background and my accounting or economics background. That's what I like. The Rotary Club here now has an endowment fund, and they're investing it, and I'm not responsible for what they invested in, but I understand the compounding of doing the right thing with your money. So that's keeps me going. Most of my clients, I've been COVID compliant for 20 years because I met them in Wyoming or Virginia. They moved on to Chicago or Oregon. So they've been emailing me their stuff for, some of them for 30 years. So that made it a lot easier for me to run a sole proprietorship. I didn't hang my shingle up when I moved out here. So very few people, other than people like you, family and friends, know I'm in business. Patricia.
You haven't mentioned the time that you were a fiduciary. Many people don't know you did that.
Oh, yes. I was a fiduciary for a couple of years. I thought that would be a nice way to help people until I saw that the reports that I had to make to the judge. That reminded me of my auditing days. So I only did that one time, but I'm sort of the fiduciary for my family, Donna's family. I'm supervising one of my daughters who needs some help. And that's enough, but none of that is reporting to the courts. So I like to keep it simple. I would not take on an oil and gas company or a big tech company, just mom and pop type businesses and people. Thank you.
Sorry. Larry, thank you very much for giving the vocational talk. So we have an announcement from the district, and you will get an email about this also. Just wanted to give you a heads up. This district has the District Community Service Committee has a blood drive on August 19th in Redwood City from 9:45 to 2:45. And we send the email with the information if you're interested, where to sign up and whom to reach out to. The next just item we have to work with is our meeting minutes. So we've had, between Marcia, myself, we have reached out to almost everybody in the club, and everyone has said, I've done this before. I don't like doing minutes. I have served and X years and in this time and that time, and I don't want to do minutes anymore. I understand. I'm not forcing anyone to do minutes, but here's my question, that how many of you read the club bulletins? So people on Zoom, you can vote here too. So if you can turn your video on and or just do, what is that, the thumbs up or something that I can see, that how many of you read the club bulletin? Okay. So we have about half of you over here that read the club bulletin. Perfect. So then there is value. That's what I want to see. If you all are consuming that information, if you all see value in that information, then I would appreciate if all of you do it. I think if all the members do it, this is one solution. We just do it 2 times a year. Just like club duties, you are a greeter. Everyone signs up 2 times a year. And literally, so today Jamie is doing it. I just walked up, gave him a pen and my minutes. And all that, everything is here. And what you don't have, tell people to email it to you. Like Larry's speech, Send him an email and say, Larry, can you just send me 5 lines? You don't need to sit here and try to listen to Larry and try and capture everything of what Larry is saying. I couldn't. So I think that maybe if there is value and everybody is consuming this information, then you really have to, it's almost fill in the blanks. Just put in the good news. What you miss, it's okay. We are not going to capture everything, but send emails. Like Phoebe did the thought of the day. If I was doing the minutes, I would send her a text message later on and say, Phoebe, I missed your thought of the day. Please send it to me. Okay, so, and so that will make life easier for Marcia. Marcia has been working very, very hard trying to get speakers for our meetings. Yeah, Linda?
Last week, last minute type thing. It's really quite easy when you put the agenda. And you just write down I used to hate taking every single word, things like that. It's no big deal. And I think if we all just share the load, it's not a problem. You ship it to you and then Cindy edits it and makes it all nice and grammatical. And it's very easy. And also, don't forget that the speaker and everything's on a recording all this.
Right.
You can do it that way.
That's the other thought that Curtis had, is that maybe if nobody wants to do the minutes, then we just send out to you the video recording from Zoom. And you can just watch that. And Phoebe has a thought.
I'm just piggybacking off of that.
Okay.
We already record them. I don't know actually where to find recordings, but sometimes it's easier just to listen to it while we're doing other things. And I know that sometimes Zoom has some kind of built-in transcription capability. I really don't know how that works, but
Yes, that is something we are looking into, is how to do that. But yes, the Zoom video is there. I think last week, Diana, did I send it to you or did I not send it to you? No. Okay, so I can edit the front little bit before the meeting starts and send it, and then we can include that in the club bulletin.
Okay.
But I would appreciate it. Really, nobody has to be perfect in minute taking, and you just do commit to 2 in a year. I don't think, Jamie, do you consider yourself an expert in taking minutes? No. This is one of your, yeah. And Jamie did it, yeah. Thank you. So I think if you get emails from people, please just sign up for 2. Just do it, like fill in the blanks, because I really take in a lot of effort. I put in a lot of effort in trying to make sure that I get 90% of the information that comes to me. I try and put it all here. So it's there for you. It's just some of the things which suddenly come up, like Patricia made this announcement, which I had not planned for. Good news, just things like that. You would fill in the blanks on that. Rest of it is there. Okay, so since 50% of the club is consuming this information, I think we will continue with that. Okay, so thank you very much. Mark, did you raise your hand? Did you want to say something? Okay. Okay. So listen to the recording. Yes. So you have a few minutes more to chat before we begin with our speaker.
yeah, it's true.
Anna, we are just setting you up for the talk.
So there are three of us.
You're saying something I can't. Wait, I think it's Mark is going to set up your audio, Anna.
Okay, so there are three of us.
This is Curtis from Ryla. He just sent me the picture today to share with all of you. Hi, everyone. So we are back. Okay. So next we have Cindy Sims to introduce our speaker today who will be on Zoom. Cindy?
Okay, thank you. Well, I am very pleased to introduce to you our speakers, actually today. Anna Yang, who's president of the Rotary Club of San Francisco West, and then Bill Gilmore, who is the lead global grant project manager for the global grant that you're going to hear about. And he's also a member of the Rotary Club of San Francisco West. And then Akal Garg, who is with Chemists Without Borders, specifically water sanitation. And they are going to be presenting San Francisco West's global grant project with in partnership with the Rotary Club in Bangladesh. So and you'll hear about that in a minute. Their global grant is funded by donations to the Rotary Foundation. And I always put a pitch in, and this is what Mike Hoffman and now Bob Kaplan, when they talk to us about making donations to the Rotary Foundation, our donations, when we contribute to the Rotary Foundation, half of what we give is returned to our Rotary Club 3 years later. So like if you give $100, 3 years later, the Rotary Club of Foster City gets $50 back. And that's in the form of what's called DDF. And so let me say that one more time, because part of what you're going to hear is how the Rotary Club of San Francisco West used their DDF to make this project happen. So when you make a contribution to the Rotary Foundation, 1/2 of what you give is returned to our Rotary Club 3 years later. Now, we've used our DDF for projects like the Yurok Nation Playground, or last year tree planting, when Curtis had us all out there planting trees, we used our DDF. The community garden that we've been working on, we're using our DDF for, and that's from 3 years ago when we donated that money to the Rotary Foundation, that came back to us. This year, President Shiraz, so a few years ago, our club submitted a global grant, and it was for the e-learning centers in Mumbai, India. And we used our DDF for that, and we partnered with other clubs, and we got matching funds from the Rotary Foundation, and that allowed us to do that global grant. And so as you listen to this presentation today by Anna and her San Francisco West project in Bangladesh, be thinking about how you would, ideas that you might want to pass on to President Shiraz, because our club has over $9,000 this year in DDF, and Shiraz is looking for a global grant idea or a way for us to use our $9,000 in DDF. And so this is how San Francisco West used their DDF, and how they multiplied it by getting contributions from other clubs and in partnership with a Rotary Club in Bangladesh. So please help me welcome Anna, Bill, and Akal.
Hi there. So can you all see us? Are we on screen? Is that it? Can you hear me? Foster City Rotary, can you hear me?
Yeah, Anna's trying to talk. Can you hear Anna? We're not getting any response back. We're not sure if we're online.
Yes, I can hear Anna.
You cannot?
I can.
Oh, you can. Okay, very good.
He's on Zoom, but what about in the room?
It seems like nobody can hear in the room.
Can you text Cindy?
I didn't have her number to text.
Oh, let me see.
I'll text Cindy.
So can the people in the room hear us?
I don't know.
That's what I'm asking. Somebody's at the podium.
Should I unmute my computer? No. Anna, can you say something now, please?
Yeah, good morning.
It's not
Good
getting your
afternoon.
sound here.
That's what we're trying to figure out, sorry.
Sorry.
How about now? What are y'all eating?
No. Yeah, that's gonna be.
This one?
Here.
Sorry about the technical problem, Anna.
That's
Apologize.
okay. I know we'll get settled out.
Zoomers can hear you fine.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate, at least part of you can hear me. Thank you.
And we can now.
Can people in Foster City hear?
Yes,
Where
yes,
are
we can
you?
hear you.
Where are you located?
San Francisco.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And Achal's in, Achal, where are you right
Keep
now?
going, Anna, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous. So, well, we're just really excited to share with you our global grant process and where we are and the story. And Bill is the lead person on this, and he's also he is the president. I was the president last year. And then Achal is our wonderful, amazing person who gives us all the technical stuff on sanitation. So there are the three of us, but then there are three more people, two who are our club counterparts in Bangladesh, and then another person from Chemists Without Borders who is our water support person, and he's the all knowledgeable about water. So I'll start screen sharing. And hopefully this all will work well. Okay, can everybody see that? I'm assuming so. So our global grant is a water sanitation and hygiene program. And we're partnering with the Rotary Club of Chittagong and Marin City and Chemists Without Borders. And this in between right here is Bangladesh. So here's India, here's Burma, Myanmar, and right here is Bangladesh. And that's where our focus is. And the Himalayan mountains are up here. And what happens is the water comes down from the Himalayas. And when it does that, it brings arsenic to the water. And so part of our project is removing arsenic from the water. This is the high school that we're working with. It's in a rural area outside of Chittagong. Chittagong is a large city in Bangladesh. And then this is a small rural high school. And our project began in 2017 to remove arsenic from the drinking water in this area in Terriel. And we put in our first application for that. And what the idea was, is working with Chemists Without Borders, was to remove arsenic from the water and have people use different wells in the community. And one of the wells was on the high school. And Rotary didn't like that idea. They thought it was too experimental because we were going to be asking people to share their well water, and they weren't sure if that was going to happen. However, they suggested that we do a water and sanitation project since we were already working with the high school. We submitted, so it took a while to, from 2019 to 2021, we worked on that focus, and we put in our application, and then Rotary Foundation ran out of money last year, sadly. And so we kept working and refining our program, our global grant, and we just submitted it in June. And we're fine tuning it for the Rotary Foundation. So Bill, do you want to talk about a WASH program?
Sure. WASH is an acronym for water, sanitation, and hygiene. And Rotary Foundation, as well as other health groups such as World Health Organization, have come to the conclusion that just doing water is insufficient to improve the health of a community. You also need to address sanitation and hygiene to stop the spread of waterborne diseases. So our original project was to just drill a well and have them access a deeper aquifer that is below where the arsenic levels are. And then we could at least get them good water to drink. But Rotary Foundation staff suggested that we make this a wash project. And that greatly increased the amount of work involved, because basically it's three projects. It's a water project and a sanitation project and a hygiene project. So water is providing safe, potable drinking water to the population. Sanitation, of course, is dealing with restrooms and designing a sanitation system to deal with the waste. And hygiene is different things. It's hygiene training, so having a classroom education for the students in the high school, but it's also providing menstrual hygiene for the girls, because they're coming of age when they attend high school. And so we need to deal with their menstrual needs. So back to you, Anna.
So you can talk about the Terriell High School.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I've never been there, but it's Terriell is 25 miles north of Chittagong, which is the second largest city in Bangladesh and the main port. The area around the high school is rural and agricultural, extreme poverty. Terriell High School is considered a very good high school, and so there are many students who attend from outside the immediate community. They have about 750 students there, 40 teachers and staff. Unfortunately, they only have 3 working pit latrines, which you'll see in a slide later on. There's an additional 3 that don't work. So imagine 750 students and there's only 6 bathrooms. It's pretty bad. The teachers are in a little better shape. They have a working system and they have 4 toilets. There's no hand washing facilities. There's no drinking fountains. And they have several wells. Most of them don't work. The one that does is a hand pump well, which you'll see, and it does contain high levels of arsenic. So this is a picture of the well. If you want to drink water, you have to pump it up by hand, and that's the way it is there. So it's not like what we're used to here. This is their current pit latrines. You can see they're in terrible shape. The septic tank that holds the waste is often filled up, and it's not emptied because they don't have a sustainable method of paying for this service to clean out the tank. So what happens is a lot of the students, they don't drink water during the day that they're at school, and they just hold it so they don't have to go to the bathroom. So it's not like the United States where we just take these facilities for granted. Of course, our schools have drinking fountains and restrooms, and all the basic needs are taken care of. So this is a much needed program, and it's all over rural Bangladesh. So there are many programs trying to treat this program and treat this problem, and we're just doing our part for one school here.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to be developing. And Atul, do you want to talk about this?
Okay, so yeah, let me tell you my background. I have actually worked with the city of Cincinnati for about 26 years. And I was a research and innovation manager there, working on sanitation and developing new technologies to treat wastewater. So when I came to this project about 4 years ago, I worked with Bill. So we, like Bill told, that this project started like just drinking water project, and then later evolved into drinking water and sanitation and wash program. So my part is to support this project in the sanitation part side as well as the drinking water side. I have experience in both sides. So we have developed a treatment system to remove arsenic because, as Bill and Anna mentioned, there is a very high level of arsenic. And we have tested several locations around that school. Every place we found is extremely high level of arsenic. So and arsenic is carcinogenic. If people drink arsenic water, they get cancer later in the life. So the first part was to remove arsenic from the water. So first, then I designed a system to remove arsenic from the water. So the well which we are going to build, we are not going to use the old well. We are going to have our own well, and that is going to have arsenic. So we will pass that arsenic water through the filtration system and remove all the arsenic. So the children will have very safe arsenic-free water to drink. And then we also will have used that water for hand washing and other things. So that is the first part. And the second part will be building the toilets, which Anna is going to share with you later. And that water, the wastewater has to be treated. Like Bill mentioned, they don't have facilities to empty the septic systems. So the challenge was, how do we, when we have 750 children using the bathrooms, once we build them, what we do with the wastewater? How do we handle that? So I came up with a system which will treat that whole wastewater at site and release extremely clean water back to the environment. So there's no environmental contamination, there's no environmental impact of that. So here's one I'm showing you the proposed bathrooms, how they're going to be. So those two systems which we have designed, this is the septic system or the treatment system which we have going to put over there. If you let me take you through this diagram. On the first left-hand side, on my left-hand side, the first chamber you see with the gray colors, that's where the wastewater is going to be coming from all the toilets, 36 toilets or some around that number, and the bathrooms and the fountains where they are going to use water for hand washing. Everything is going to come to the first chamber. And then we are going to remove all the heavy solids in this chamber. And then the water will move to the next chamber, the part 2, where you see little bit gray in the middle. Those are the bubbles. So the water coming to the next chamber is going to have still have a lot of organic matter, the feces and so on. So we are going to treat that by pumping air. So on the top, you will see one air pump, and on the bottom, you will see a diffuser, which will create very fine bubbles, air bubbles, that will provide oxygen to the bacteria, and bacteria will eat everything in that water. They will remove all the contaminants. And then water will move to the next chamber, where we are going to allow it to settle everything in that chamber, all the solids or remaining contaminants. And then water will go to the next phase of treatment or purification. So we will process that water through the sand filter. That's where we are going to remove all the bacteria and anything which is left over from the previous chamber. So when the water comes out of this sand filter, it's going to be extremely clean, just absolutely nothing left in that water. No bacteria, no pathogens and nothing. So, and then we will test that water and then see if anything we need to disinfect. If we don't, then it will go straight in the pond nearby. That's the natural pond. If we have to disinfect, if there's in bacteria, then we will treat with chlorine and then discharge to the pond. So this is the system which will be kind of self-sustained. There's no maintenance. There's no cost after we build it. It's going to be almost cost-free. Little bit cost, maintenance will be after 3 to 4 years. That's all it will take to remove part of that sand. So that's all it takes to build that. So it will be a very clean system from the starting from the drinking water, removing arsenic, and then all the way releasing that water back to the nature.
Thank you. Thank you, Achal. And Achal is the mastermind behind all of that. And without him, we wouldn't have a project, and a sustainable project. And the other part of the program is the hygiene program. And that's, we have somebody from a public health department who is going to be teaching the teachers all about the hygiene, about hand washing, about using the toilets properly, and drinking enough water, and then also menstrual education. And then the teachers will be teaching the students, and there'll be a committee formed, a hygiene committee, and the hygiene committee will make sure that all the students are taught. And they'll teach them to wash their hands before meals and after using the toilet. And there's special, we're having made cloth menstrual pads for this project, and working with an entrepreneur to create a special cleaner product. So it's environmentally friendly. So all the wonderful bacteria that is in the septic system will stay healthy, and it won't have to be pumped out so much. So the SANS septic system gives us clean water and reusable menstrual pads. All of these, and the Captain Cleaner that we are creating, I love that name, Captain Clean. All of these are in the focus of protecting the environment. And we've been building relationships with local professors at universities, asking them to support us with their expertise in this. The system is going to be easily maintained, and there's a designated handicap accessibility for one toilet at the bottom of the school, at the first floor, the ground floor. And this is our wonderful Bangladesh team. And they have made so many trips just to the school. It's been amazing. And it's taken 6 of us here together, and just a lot of love and care about this project. It's a lot of persistence, a lot of willingness, a lot of Saturday mornings meeting on Zoom. You know, I've been in Bangladesh. We've all been in Bangladesh on Zoom for Saturday mornings for a couple of years now. And as Cindy was saying, Bill, do you want to just briefly say something about the DDF?
Yeah, the DDF came from many clubs in the district, and we thank you all for your support. We faced raising money for this project. It's turning out to be about a $48,000 project, and we're kind of a small club, and we thought that was pretty daunting, but we went around to different clubs in the district, and the support just came in. It was really terrific, and kind of overwhelming, like, wow, look at all this. We raised the money in just a few months. It was pretty spectacular. So thank you to all of those who donated, both at the club level and individual. We were able to get DDF, which was matched by World Fund money, and we also were able to raise cash. There were cash contributions from members in different clubs. And then a special thank you to the Rose Stone Foundation. This is, I forget the exact name. It's a fund that was set up with past District Governor Brian McLaren's aunt. Rose Stone passed away, and money was donated to the Rotary Foundation as a special fund. And this fund was set up to help projects that help women and children in countries where there were formerly war. And of course, there was a war for Bangladesh to establish its independence from Pakistan. Bangladesh used to be East Pakistan, and what's now Pakistan was West Pakistan. And there was a kind of a war between the two of them. I'm not sure of all the history about it, but I remember Mahita and one of the members of the Chittagong Club stated that they want to establish, take away their language, Bengali, and the people there didn't want to give up their language. So that was one of the issues. And so India got involved in this war, and there was a civil war. And so that's how this project qualified, because we have high school girls at the high school. So it qualified for that grant, and it was a pretty generous grant. It was.
We were very lucky with our money and our funding.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was.
So thank you.
It was about
Thank you.
$10,000 for that.
So that's, I hope you're excited about our project and that gets you excited about doing something in your club.
Yeah,
So
we
thank
have
you
about.
for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we have time for a few questions if you like.
Thank you very much. That was very good. I think very impressive, the scope of your work, actually, from sanitation to building the toilets, and then also the whole recycling of the gray water. That's incredible. I have a quick question, Ashwell. How long does that whole thing take to recycle the gray water out and get pure water out of there?
It's a little hard to hear. Can you repeat that?
Yes, she was asking
How
about gray
long does
water
it take
recycling.
to recycle the gray water out and get clean water on the other side?
Okay, the cycle takes, so in the beginning, it will be little bit long cycle because all the tanks have to be filled first. So depending on the capacity of the tank, so it will take maybe 3-4 weeks before the water starts coming out on the other end. And once the water starts coming out, then it will be constant process. So it will be the equal amount of water going in, the same amount will come out on the other end. So there's no lag time after that. So when they flush the toilet and 5-gallon water goes in, the 5-liter gallon water will come out on the other end.
Okay.
So it will be constant after that.
Thank you. Cindy has a question. Where did you get the idea to do this? It's a question from Cindy Sims.
So you mean the building the filters?
The whole project.
Okay, the project.
Anna, how did you connect with Achal in Bangladesh?
Oh, well, it was a speaker from Chemists Without Borders came to our club and spoke about the situation in Bangladesh and India, about the arsenic in the water. And this is the largest scale water poisoning in the world right now. And it was such a massive problem. And Chemists Without Borders decided to take this on and try a water sharing program to identify waters with clean wells and share those with people who have contaminated wells. And so that's how it all got started. And then we decided as a club to take this on as a project. We voted in November 2017, and here we are now.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah.
Should the water be used for irrigation?
Larry Lowenthal is asking, can the water be used for irrigation?
Yes, it can be, yes, without a problem. It will be so clean, it can be used. Now, other thing is, the water coming out of after the treatment, it will be more, actually, very much better quality of water because it will have nitrates in that because, you know, urine and feces, they contain phosphate and nitrates. So the water will have very high level of that. So you won't even need any fertilizer to if you are using this water for let's say farming. So it will be kind of enriched in the fertilizers.
Yes, the nitrates are actually very good for green leafy growth.
Yeah, yeah.
So, thank you. Last question.
When they started the project in 2017, Rotary was matching cash at 50%, DDF at 100%. Now they're matching DDF at 80%. They're not matching cash.
Right.
Is that affecting the project?
So you know how the DDF matching has changed from earlier they used to do 50% for cash. and 100% match for DDF. They don't do that anymore. So has that affected your project?
We had to raise some more cash in order to cover the difference.
Okay, thank you. So with that, we are beyond our time schedule. So thank you very much, Anna, Bill, and Achal. It was really informative.
So can I make a small comment? If your club is interested in any such kind of projects, you can reach Bill or Anna, and I will be happy to participate with your project.
Perfect. Thank you. Actually, yes, maybe I'll reach out to you because I think many countries like India also, I think this, the latrines that you showed, the toilet problem, I think that is in so many of these developing countries.
Yes.
So thank you. And so for our speaker gift, we, I don't think you can see it on any of the cameras. Maybe this camera, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, they can. You could see just briefly, but we will send that to you. And our speaker gift is basically in your honor for speaking over here today. We are making a donation to the Polio Plus program. And as Anna and Bill, you both know that this is match 2-for-1 by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So Rotary Club of Foster City will in effect be giving $30 in your honor to the Polio Plus program. The second thing that when you receive this, you will see pictures of our club's key project, which is the UROC playground project. We have pictures of that, where we recycle, we take old playgrounds from here, we refurbish them along with our Interact children, and we go to UROC Nation and we install it over there. So we will send you this certificate shortly. Thank you very much for this very informative talk and for this amazing project. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.
thank you for having us.
And with that, I would like to thank Jim Hardy for being our greeter today, Pledge Jim Goel, Thought for the Day Phoebe Venkat, and Minutes Jamie, Treasurer Larry Kavinoki, Tech Table again Jim, Sergeant at Arms, and Tech Table Mark Watson, who was not planning to do it, and he just came in as our big savior today. Thank you, Mark Watson. Sergeant at Arms, Ed Groe, and also Jack Petrosky. Thank you. And for next week, this is very important. We have District Governor Gary Chow coming over here. So please, all of you come over here. We will be listening to, he's coming for the first time to our club. So I hope to see you all there then. And with that, meeting is adjourned.